All right, so I just pulled up at one of my hunting spots where, you know, we're blessed enough to get a little over 450 acres of land right here to hunt. And you know, like I've said before in some of my other videos, we're really taking good care of this property with the roads and the food plots, and just as being as good a stewards as we can with the property and the blessing that we have to be able to hunt a place like this in the middle of the suburbs. It's just it's an overwhelming blessing. People, you know, that hear that we have an opportunity to hunt here, they're just like, how in the world did you do that? And it's all God, because you know, once the door opened to be able to hunt this piece, then, you know, we became friends with the neighbor when he saw we were doing good things with our land, and connected with him, and he blessed us with an access that we didn't have to the property, but now we do, and a place to keep equipment. So when you're suburban hunting, it's really good to know people that I don't know if you can see with all the glass reflections or whatever, but it makes things a lot easier when you're trying to do work on land and you are close to people that have businesses and different kind of equipment. But I'm gonna re-up some corn on some spots. I'm gonna start some salt licks, check some game cameras while we're out here, and put out a new game camera. I got a Spy Point. Heard really great things about them, and the price is really good on them, and so I'm gonna get that set up and give a little review on how that is and see how it works. So we'll see. Let's try to get out of here before it gets too hot. I mean, it is 96 degrees. It is almost noon, and 1st of September in Birmingham, Alabama. So it is hot. Okay, so I've got everything all loaded down. You can see I've got my trophy rocks, I've got some deer cane liquid, and of course corn that we're going to put out as we kind of do some established salt licks out here. When you start putting your corn out in the off season to attract deer and catch on camera what you got going on and kind of trying to keep deer in a certain area, you'll notice that once they find it, they go through the corn like, I mean, a 40-50 pound bag of corn's gone in 3 days if you have a lot of deer in the area. So that can get really expensive. But if you get a salt lick going in that area where the deer are used to eating the corn, then the salt lick lasts longer and it still keeps bringing the deer back to that same location. And so you can maybe keep up with the deer's activity or catch a new deer passing by, but it saves you some money on corn. So I'm going to show you how I do a salt lick. Hey, so this is one of those spots where, doing some scouting, I found a kind of a peninsula point of a ridge where a couple little valleys diverge and ridges that all connect into this one peninsula. And there's a lot of oaks in this area, and there's also a lot of fresh and old deer sign. We got deer droppings, we got beds. I mean, it's just an active deer area. So this is where I first started putting corn, and as you can see, the deer have just completely cleared the ground. They've eaten the ground completely clean from corn that I put out 3 days ago. So we're going to establish a salt lick in this area right here. And when I do this, what I like to do is go into this area that I know deer are in and they're used to coming to. I clear out about a 3-foot radius all the way down to the dirt and make like a circle, okay? And then once I do that, then I'll put my mineral lick or my trophy rock right in the middle of the circle, and I'll pour the liquid deer cane around the perimeter of the circle over the rock and in the dirt, and then I'll cover that with a layer of corn, a heavy layer and a nice thick layer, and then I'll spread the rest of the corn out, so when the deer come back to visit the spot, they'll get a taste for that salt, and it won't take long for them to establish it as a permanent salt lick. Easy as that. So just took a few minutes, got it all set up. We
got the trail camera right back here on the tree, pointed over this entire area. I can't wait to wait a few days, come back in here and see what it looks like, see what the deer have done, see if it's been established. And hey, last thing guys, I can't stress enough, no matter what you're doing in the woods, let's take our trash out. I mean, I don't care if you're suburban deer hunting, country deer hunting, public land deer hunting, private land deer hunting, paid deer hunting. If we're in nature, you know, let's leave it the way we found it, I think. I mean, this is a very, very fast disappearing natural resource that we have and get to enjoy, and hopefully our grandchildren will get to have. Especially in the suburbs, you realize that at any day a piece of property that you always had access to becomes a neighborhood or a shopping mall or whatever. And but anyway, long story short, let's bring it in, let's take it out.